Have you ever wondered what you would get if you mixed Doom, Crypt of the Necromancer, and West Side Story? And then just for good measure, made off with most of the colour designer's crayons. My name's Kanan, and this is BPM, Bullets Per Minute, just in case you didn't know. Engage! Story! It's basically one of those old stories. Fight as a mighty Valkyrie to repel the forces of the underworld from invading the world of Asgard. Well, frack me, it would appear that the art of storytelling is still alive and kicking. And as we head into the gameplay, consider subscribing to the channel for more weekly reviews and sales videos. BPM is a rhythm FPS, and although most FPS involve you getting into a, rhythm, as you play BPM, it's actually essential you listen and feel the beats of what's being played. Okay, so we have the big guns, big shooting, and big enemies, akin to Doom. Then there's the rhythm and working them into your skills of Crypt of the Necromancer. But this one goes one step forward, with reloading as part of the actual thing that you have to keep the rhythm going with. Which brings me nicely to the movement of jumping, moving, dodging that you will be using, well, frankly, quite a lot. It kind of, not in the slightest, reminds you of West Side Story, if it was set in hell and with monsters and no singing, thankfully. BPM plays well when you get used to it, and I have to admit it took me a bit to get used to it. And I have to admit having a slight delay on my recording equipment didn't really help, especially as you have to set these things up at the beginning. Go figure. So BPM is procedure generated, and that's something I'm not greatly keen on in games, but it was okay, with each run still feeling a little samey, but I'll come back to that in a bit. So it's the enter the room, kill everything in said room, pick loot from chests, any coins dropped from killing these said monsters and enemies, and then off to the next room. You also get to defeat boss-like enemies until you move to the next stage and a new map, and this map opens up as you move into rooms, pointing you in the right direction as you go along. Oh, and then the coins can be used to buy things, and also you get like buffs for your characters and all sorts of different things that you can use as you're going along. The weapons did feel kind of meaty, but like when you're using like machine guns, because you're going with the actual pattern of the music, it feels so odd because you can't just hose things down. You have to like have like controlled bursts, a little bit like the RoboCop gun, if you like, if anyone remembers that film. And then there's the big fucking chicken that I run into. Alright, I tried mowing it down, but it's actually kind of on your side. It's one of the places you buy things. It was just really comical when I actually reached it. I'll say, unfortunately, every time you end your run by dying or whatnot, or going on to the next stages, the loading times are kind of longish, and it really hurt me because my character and the enemies liked each other so much they went in for hugs all the time, subsequently ending my runs quite a lot. The other thing I would mention is I did actually try it on gyroscope, and it was nigh on impossible for me even when I turned it down quite a lot. And also I kind of like got stuck in quite a bit of the scenery here and there when I was trying to back away. It's a very sort of like run round the enemies type game. And why not like this video if you're enjoying it so far? I found this game extremely frustrating, especially at the start when I was trying to work everything out, and also it's really damn hard. I mean, more hard for me to show you because I can't play it on my, with a delay because it's nigh on impossible, but also on the big screen and in handheld, it's really hard, and I was playing in easy, which is even worse. The core gameplay of the game I enjoyed. I think I'll probably be playing this for a long time, but I will say I suck at it, and I don't know, should I be doing this as an impressions or can I give it a score? I'm going to give it a score because I've been playing it for hours. And I think part of this is part of the game, I think. Visuals and sound. And so we move on to one of my beeves of the game. It looks great, don't get me wrong. But the colour palette looks like some person took a lot of time to make all this look great with the monsters and the shooties and all that. But then when it actually came to colouring it in, they were handed a few crayons for some reason. Just like they gave it to a trainee to finish off, and then the trainee couldn't work out how to actually change the colour palette, so they thought, well, I've got a few colours here, I'll just do it all in that colour or them colours. And then turned round to their supervisor and said, hey, less is more. It's art. No. Just no. Sound though? Well, now there's an epic rock score kind of here to shoot and get down to if you enjoy that sort of thing. Luckily enough, I do. And on the whole, it's actually pretty decent. Although it does overshadow all the other sounds though, as constantly listening out for the beat with your trigger finger is kind of, I don't know, you almost get into a zen mode and ignore everything else, I guess. The good music score rocked. Solid gameplay became addictive after a while. Big ass fucking chicken. The bad. Colour scheme looked like someone smeared shit over the lens in most of the levels. Takes a little to get used to and get into. It's more or less the same gaming loop. Some weapons felt odd, can feel unbalanced at times, and that works in both ways. The score. Who thought I'd actually have room in my life now that it's busier for a new FPS, and a rhythm one at that? Who would have thought? I think most people that like a good FPS would probably like this game. They'd probably appreciate it after they've figured out that rhythm part to it, because hey, let's face it, it's not really something you experience all the time, but then it is. I'm gonna give BPM, bullets per minute, just in case you wondered again, a 3+ out of 5. It's something I'll come back to. I don't think I'll be playing it constantly. So why not hit that like and subscribe button just before we get into the alternative for more of my content each and every week, and sales and reviews and more. Okay, so that alternative, well, it has to be either Quake or Doom. Take your pick, either one. They're both pretty decent games, and yeah, I would definitely recommend either of them. In fact, if you can get the Doom game and you've got a PSVR or a VR unit that has it on it, I'd get that because it's really, really good. But that's after you play BPM as an alternative. Remember that. But don't just take my word for it. I'm sure a lot of people would actually recommend Doom or Quake as their alternatives to that as well. Leave it down in the comments, as well as any other comments or, thoughts upon BPM, bullets per minute. Yeah, whatever. Why did they put BPM, bullets per minute? I mean, literally, you don't need the abbreviation, do you? But still, it looks good on the art package. And if you wish to take the conversation further, come and visit us at our community, Switch Heads, Discord. Oh, my brain's going mad and mental, because life is better when we switch together.